I've made it no secret that Miami is one of my least favorite places I've ever visited. I've been there about 3 times now, and every single time it's a nightmare. It's extremely expensive for anything. I remember going there for spring break in college, and a single beer was 18 clams. I will never forget that price because it had my eyes popping out of my skull like it was Looney Tunes. It was unbelievable. I also hate how crowded it is, so if you're trying to go 5 miles by car, you're better off just hopping on a fucking unicycle. You'll get there significantly faster. It takes like an hour to just go a handful of miles, and it's a cacophony of annoying noise because people are constantly like hitting their horn like they need that more than oxygen. So if you're in like the Miami Beach area, it just sounds like you're being skull-fucked by an air horn at all times. I have not had a good experience any of the times I've visited, but there is one thing Miami is very well known for that I'm very well aware of, and that's road rage. Watching it full speed, it really felt like he stayed in the air longer and got higher, but when I went back and like froze frame, he didn't get that high off the ground at all. It's like he got in the air and then started lagging like there was a ping issue. But this gentleman here jumps up with a flying hammer fist and fucking judo chops the mirror off of this car in a road rage incident. This video has been going viral over the last 24 hours, and it had me giggling. Also, the caption that I saw with it, it was posted by Barstool Sports when I first saw it, and the caption said, "This man put the mirror on a poster." Even that had me laughing, but just the way that he leaps into the air like Darius Alting out of League of Legends, just to come down with like a fucking full force asteroid and blast the mirror off the car. Oh my god, it was the thing of legend. I don't know how hard it is to do that, by the way. I don't know if this is a display of martial arts prowess or not, but I do remember when I was a kid, I accidentally did this to my parents' car mirror after I shot a basketball and it caught the front of the rim and hit right into the mirror. So I don't even think it takes that much force. I just feel like most people don't bother to do that. And I know his hand was probably sore. That shit was probably throbbing. Probably looked like Tom's hand out of Tom and Jerry after he hits it with a mallet or something.
Damn.
Don't worry, there is a video of it, and I also imagine the high-octane cocaine grandmaster Enter the Fist would also want a copy of that as well. I bet he would want to post this on his fucking LinkedIn. He probably thought this was the hypest shit imaginable. So I don't know the context with what led to it. Seems just like classic road rage, but it starts with her throwing some kind of like plastic water bottle at him or something. It looks like the squirt bottle from Space Jam or something with the secret stuff, and it misses, but it was still enough to trigger his super soldier programming, so he like NPC jogs over there and gets her with the fucking kablamo right on the car mirror, and then goes back to his vehicle and turns away. An incredible series of events here. I don't know if there's more to the story, but goodness gracious, what a fucking goofy thing to capture on camera. And speaking of goofy, since I used the word, Goof Juice, my GamerSupps flavor, available right now. Best flavor of anything ever made, I promise. Go to gamersupps.gg/moist to get some. Now, I want to also take you through memory lane here in Miami road rage history to bring you what I think to be one of the best instances of road rage that's ever been captured. This was quite a few years ago now, and it's something special.
You've likely heard of the term catching a ride, but it looks like this guy may have snagged more than he bargained for. At speeds up at 70 miles an hour, he clinged to the hood of this black Mercedes with one hand while on his cell phone with the other. Surprisingly, his sandals still sticking to his feet as passing drivers recorded video of the man as he zipped past cars on the express lanes of I-95 near Hollandale Beach Boulevard.
Bro, she's definitely pissed off at him or something.
Daniel Maida said he was driving south on 95 around 8 last night.
The videographer's theory was correct. He was able to sniff out this situation at just a glance. It turns out that it was a disagreement between an ex-boyfriend and that woman that's driving the car. And 70 miles per hour is no joke. If she so much as hit like a rock and caused the car to jostle a little bit, this guy would have fucking flown off. Like, he would have shot off like Team Rocket into the sky. And heavens to Betsy, if she decided to just like brake check, just like slam on the brakes really quick, it would have been like a fucking railgun for this guy's body. He would have been vaporized. That is extremely fast, and it lasted for 19 miles. And what's incredible about this one isn't just the pure lunacy of this situation, but the fact that we have multiple angles. So the woman driving also filmed, and we have the 911 call. So he's casually hanging on to the car with one hand while on the phone with the other. And he's actually on with 911. So here's the audio of that.
911, what is your emergency?
Yes, I'm on top of a speeding vehicle. Someone's trying to steal my car.
Okay, what's the address?
Address? Say what?
I don't even know where I'm at.
It really is quite the pickle to be in, because they can't really triangulate that position. Like, he can't give them a location because it's changing so frequently.
This is what the crazy scene looked like from inside the car.
Get off of my car! Get off!
It was shot by the driver, Patricia Isidore, and that's her ex-boyfriend. You can see him hanging onto the windshield wiper with one hand and his cell phone in the other hand. For 19 terrifying miles down busy I-95 South near Miami.
Seeing the footage from inside of the vehicle is so interesting because he looks extremely calm. Like, he is just the Zen master here. 70 miles per hour for 19 grueling miles. That's a lot of distance to travel. Like, that's not a short time to be hanging on for dear life. And he's just looking at her disappointed. Like, just more disappointed than anything. Like, can't believe you've done this. He's giving her the same look I give to someone who makes like a really lame pun. I don't know how he is that calm with all of that. Because again, one tiny thing goes wrong and he's just dead from there.
As I was getting ready to go and pick up my daughter, he hopped on top of my car. And I told him, get off the car, and he wouldn't get off the car.
The couple split up 8 months ago, but they're still trying to live together. Moreover, and Patricia Isidore was charged with negligence and exposure to harm. She spoke to WSVN-TV after being released on bond.
Did you ever think to yourself, you shouldn't be driving?
No.
I don't know why she wouldn't have thought about not driving with him on the hood of the car. It's also dangerous for her, too. Like, she can't really see the road all that well either. Like, this could have been fatal for both of them. And really, it seems to have started over something pretty small, a disagreement on who could use the car at that time. And she wanted to go pick up the daughter, and then he decided to jump on the hood, and then she said, fuck it, we'll do it live, and just took off, just started zooming with it with him on the hood. Like, that's just unhinged. Like, that's crazy. That is a Miami road rage incident that I don't think can ever really be topped. But I do really think that the leaping karate chop is up there for some of the best Miami road rage I've seen. So I definitely wanted to talk about both of these. That's really about it. See ya. Good morning, butterflies. It's me, your fairy godfather, Charles. And I'm here to grant you a special wish. And that wish I know you just made was for knowledge. So I will go ahead and pollinate you with my sweet nectar of knowledge. The situation I covered a couple days ago with the individual who was driving with a suspended license on a Zoom court hearing about his suspended license actually has some huge twists and turns here that not even the Game of Thrones showrunners could have figured out to subvert our expectations. The whole galaxy, but especially the Michigan Secretary of State's office, owe this man a huge, sincere apology. Addressing the elephant in my ass, yes, I am still not home. I am still in front of this SpongeBob title card of a background behind me, but it's very funky and I appreciate that. I'm still on the run. I publicly said My Hero Academia fell off and I haven't been safe since. So, anyway, for those of you that are unfamiliar with this whole case, I'll drop the lore for you. An individual named Corey Harris went viral for this Zoom court hearing where this happened.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Wait. Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driver while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
Oh.
An iconic moment in legal history that will no doubt be studied by the best and brightest minds in the field for eons to come. A perplexing case. Now, all of humanity was clowning on this. I made a video talking about this briefly and then going over some other really classic Zoom court moments. Because it's just so silly. Like, to go to the Zoom court hearing while driving with a suspended license, it's kind of a fucking power move, actually. Like, that's a statement right there. The only thing that could have made that any better is if he was puffing on a cigar while drifting around. I've really got this as like a cheesy action movie in my head right now where he's the main character. And then he like gets out of the car and he pushes away on a skateboard and hits a kickflip or something on the way out and tells the judge to pipe down. He's got more important things to take care of. But it turns out, like a transformer, there was more than meets the eye here. So while he may have been driving with a suspended license on paper, it turns out that wasn't the reality of the situation. It was actually a clerical error. It is true that his license was suspended in 2010, however, it was rescinded in 2022. So what happened is, due to this error in the internal combustion engine that is our beyond dog shit legal process, that information never made it through the proper channels. So he should have been totally green light to drive. You can take the license away from the man, but you can't take the man away from the license. It's the same thing. I just said the same thing in a different way. That's definitely not how that's supposed to work, like the expression. Point is, it's not like when they took away his license, it was like the Space Jam basketball taking away his like ability to drive. He still had the capability of driving, just not the legal authority to do so. But in 2022, he did get that granted back to him, or at least he should have. But apparently the soulless husks at the Michigan Secretary of State's office never received the clearance from the Saginaw Friend of the Court. I hate that title, by the way, Friend of the Court. That shit sounds so childish. Makes me feel like I'm reading a Dr. Seuss book. Yes, this is the Michigan Secretary of State's office requesting thumbs up from the Blorbus County Super Buddies. Looking for big pats on the head, please, nuzzles you. I don't know, I hate that. Just friend of the court sounds so stupid for like an actual legal thing. So because the Michigan Secretary of State's office never got that clearance, the lifting of the suspension never went into effect, so the judge was working off the paperwork that was incorrect, stating that his license was still suspended when, in reality, it was not. They tracked down the clerical error and it has been rectified. However, Harris did spend 2 days in jail. And he made this statement saying, "With the type of ties that I have with the church and the community, it's very embarrassing." Which I completely understand, and this whole thing is turbo dog shit. It's more than just like blushing of the cheeks, like embarrassing, you know, it's not like his voice cracked while asking someone on a date or something. Like, this is pretty serious. It's unjust what happened to him. Please ignore the Ford ad. They break up every 3 sentences in this article with an ad. I've now sworn that I will never buy a single product that advertises on any mainstream news outlet because of these intrusive fucking abominable ads. But this is the explanation. So a legal deputy, the deputy legal director for the Michigan Secretary of State told the station that the process to get a driver's license reinstated can be a complicated process. Sometimes it's as simple as, we at the Secretary of State's office did not get a clearance from the court that everything was done, but something happened in the wires and we needed to talk to the court to get the clearance and clean it up for the resident. Which they didn't do until he had already been in jail for 2 days. So, like, he still suffered from this and I think he should be compensated for that. He didn't do anything wrong. But he had no way of knowing that or knowing how to properly correct this. In an interview that he gave after the dust had settled with all of this hoopla, he did mention that his license was supposed to be fixed 2 years ago, but it just didn't. So he was aware that there was something definitely awry here, something was wrong, but he didn't really know what to do about that. So he still ended up, turning himself in and all of that. And then in the interview, he did mention at the end, always double check the workers because they say they're going to do something and they just don't. He's 100% right about that. When you deal with anyone in any kind of government position, it seems like they view it as a shameful thing to do their job. Like, they seem to want to do everything but what they're supposed to, which really hurts just normal, average people. And also, no one watching what happened had any way of knowing that either. Since this story came out with this update here, people have been mad at me saying, like, oh, how could you have fucking slandered this man? You should have really looked into this a little bit deeper so you would have known he was innocent from the start. Brother, look around. What the fuck are you talking about? How would I have gotten that information unless I was fucking auditing them? Like the goddamn, what was it, the Saginaw friend of the court? Like the Michigan Secretary of State's office? What am I supposed to do? Like march on over, kick the doors in and say, everyone, hands up. I'm going to need to see all your paperwork here. I saw this silly clip online and I need to verify the authenticity of the driving without a license charges. Give me everything you've got. I got a fucking warrant here for all of it. So, come on. Like, there's not an amount of research anyone could have done to find that information. They had to track down the clerical error on their side. There is nothing some fucking bumbling reptile brain idiot like me could possibly do to get that information because it is not available unless you literally worked there and investigated it. I do think some of the records with the suspension and then like the rescinding of it are publicly accessible documents you can have access to, but it's still not something that you as just like the average dick in hand Joe Schmo can do to connect the dots on why those wouldn't match up, like why this paperwork didn't make it through the whole process, what the hang up was. Like, that's not something that you can track from the outside, I don't believe. So I'm definitely sorry, and I'm super sorry that this happened to him in the first place, because again, he did nothing wrong. He was completely blameless for the driving with a suspended license charges here. Like, the biggest apology of all should come from those authorities there, but there's not going to be any repercussions there. They're just going to throw their hands up and go, whoops, clerical error. Gee whiz, sorry bud. And that'll be the extent of that. They'll just wash their hands of it and be done with it, close the book, and nothing more will come from it. And it's a real fucking shame. They never face any real repercussions for fucking people in the face like this, and it sucks. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something comes from this. Maybe there's some kind of internal change where this kind of thing won't happen as often in the future. Doubtful, but who knows. Anyway, though, I feel terrible for Mr. Harrison. What he went through here, he did not deserve it at all. That's about it. See ya. It really takes a lot to surprise me with stupidity in this day and age, because we have easy, unlimited access to the loony bin called Twitter 24 hours a day. It's like a zoo, like a little SCP containment facility for all of the dumbest and weirdest creatures that evolution and inbreeding has ever produced. And yet today, I watched a video that left me stunned by an evil imbecile. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this because it went viral earlier this week, so I'm definitely tardy to the party, but I'm just seeing it now. It's a drunk driver from Illinois. She killed 2 people and couldn't stop giggling about it and couldn't register that she wasn't going to be able to go to school the following day or get her car back. So there's body cam footage that has now just come out, even though this incident took place last year. She received 14 years for this, which I think is just not enough. I've been very vocal about my disdain for drunk drivers. I hate drunk drivers more than Garfield hates Mondays. It is a purely unforgivable act. It is selfish, dangerous, and there's no excuse for it ever. Especially in today's society where there's Uber, Lyft, a taxi, calling a friend, you can easily find transportation to get home that doesn't involve putting everyone's life at risk on the road. And this lady killed 2 people while drunk driving. Just normal, innocent people that did nothing wrong, and not only did she kill them, she couldn't stop laughing about it, just having a giggle fit like she was in a tickle fight. The body cam footage released, and it is disgusting.
That's sweet. I told you it's fine. I'd rather do the walking.
Okay, go up.
Keep your head straight. Just look up with your eyes.
She's reacting to a fatal accident like a child reacts to a clown at a birthday party. And she was informed that 2 people involved here died. And she truly just couldn't give less of a fuck about any of that.
Oh, hey, you never answered me about my car. And I have school tomorrow, so how do I get my car for tomorrow?
Well, your car is totaled.
It's what?
Your car is totaled.
Totaled?
Totaled, wrecked.
So they conducted field sobriety tests, all of which she failed because obviously she is completely hammered. They then get to this point in the video where the officer and her are in the room and she doesn't like the silence, so she says that she's going to start singing. So she starts flexing the golden pipes with some of the worst fucking singing you'll ever hear. It's not really singing, it's more like some kind of Gregorian chant if it was being farted out of a walkie-talkie, and she starts dancing like she's in some kind of trance. But regardless, she starts boogieing down and singing. She's treating this whole situation like she's at fucking Mardi Gras. Like it's like she's celebrating that she had just killed 2 people as if it was some kind of fucking sacrifice, and she's happy about the whole situation. It's not even that she's not registering it. She actively doesn't care, which is completely different. Yes, she is beyond drunk, clearly, but she is aware of what has happened. He has told her multiple times she understands why she's there and just actually doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, so how do I get it to your school tomorrow?
You don't.
So, I don't go to school tomorrow, is what you're telling me?
You brain-dead fucking worm. Obviously you're not going to school tomorrow. You just killed 2 people in a drunk driving accident. This isn't GTA where you can just reset and undo what happened here. You took 2 people's lives away because you're a fucking ridiculously stupid idiot. Like, holy shit. And the only thing that she can even process is that this might be an inconvenience to her because she has school tomorrow and she doesn't want to miss class.
No, man. You want me to be honest with you? You're going to jail. You don't have a bond. You killed 2 people tonight. I don't think you understand that. You do not have a bond. You are not getting out of jail. Your car is property of East Peoria Police Department because it's a crime scene. It killed 2 people tonight. You are clueless with that, clearly. I've already explained this to you. You're going to jail for reckless homicide tonight. You're going to jail for aggravated DUI for killing 2 people. That's what's going on. So no, you're not going to school tomorrow. You're not getting your car out of impound.
Can I have a Tuesday for my night class?
How this officer didn't just stand up and flip a chair over out of frustration is beyond me. Just watching this had me want to flip a table like I had just lost a game of chess and got upset about it. He just laid down all of the brass tacks here, explained the situation for the fucking 50th time already, and once again, she still only cares about her standing, about being able to go to class. So then she says, well, what about Tuesday? You know, like, as if she thought she'd only spend like 24 hours in jail or something after killing 2 people. Like, okay, you know, I'll do the time for the crime. Oh, okay, I get it. Punishment is necessary. So 24 hours, right? Tuesday I can get my car? We can just go ahead and magically put my car back together even after it's been totaled after my drunk driving accident that took away 2 people's lives? Do we have a Magneto on board who can fix my car up so that I can get to class on Tuesday?
Did you just hear what I just told you?
You said I'm not going tomorrow. I'm talking about Tuesday.
Did you hear when I said that you...
I'm going to jail tomorrow.
You're going to jail when we're done here?
Yes.
Did you understand what I told that you killed 2 people tonight?
Yes. I'm just wondering when I can go to school.
Okay, we're done.
Once again, she is hearing him loud and clear. She is acknowledging that she is hearing that she is responsible for the death of 2 people. She just doesn't care. They could have brought the corpses in, and she probably would have let out a hearty belly laugh like Santa Claus. She doesn't fucking care. She didn't know them personally, thus their life is meaningless to her. The only thing that matters is now it might be somewhat of an inconvenience because she thinks she might not be able to go to school tomorrow or even on Tuesday now. So now she's starting to get a little panicked because, oh, she's going to miss her fucking Tuesday night class. Not because she just killed 2 people, it's just she's going to miss her Tuesday night class.
You're all on body camera being completely careless about killing 2 people tonight. You could care less. That's sad and pathetic and horrible all at the same time.
Can you say that as a cop?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, so can I ask when I can go back to school?
I'm not the officer on the scene here, but I can answer the question for you. 14 years, and you can go back to school. And hopefully, if you do go back to school in 14 years, everyone bullies the shit out of you and never lets you forget this moment, and never lets you forget what you did. I don't think you should be able to go back to school in 14 years. I think that is way too lenient of a punishment for what you've done. I think the sentence should have been much longer here, for sure. But I wasn't the judge on the case, so it's clearly not up to me here. I think she is irredeemably stupid, and I do think stupidity can reach a level where it is dangerous, like in a case like this, where you become a danger to everyone around you because you are such an absolute bumbling fucking moron. Now, she was singing a bit of a different tune here, talking about how remorseful she was, saying she's sorry for everything and she'd never commit anything like that again, hasn't drank since that day and doesn't plan on drinking ever again. However, the judge was implored to just impose the maximum 28-year penalty, which I do completely agree with, but unfortunately, she only received 14 years. I also find it very hard to believe that now she's starting to feel remorseful, only now that she realizes she's not only going to miss school for those couple of days, she's going to miss school for 14 years. I still don't believe she has any level of remorse for the victims here. I truly don't. I understand she was drunk, but I used to get drunk a lot, and if you told me I so much as pushed somebody and hurt them, I would have been inconsolably upset that I was responsible for something like that, even while fucking inebriated. Like, it's not like when you're drunk, all of a sudden you become a callous statue that can't process emotion or process any level of information. Because she acknowledged multiple times that she understood 2 people died from what happened. She just still didn't care. She kept singing and dancing and just talking about school and how it might be an inconvenience to her. So I really do think that even while sober, she just doesn't fucking value anyone's life that she doesn't personally know. I know this is me getting very like armchair psychologist about all of it, but it's just the impression I get from the body cam footage as well as reading the rest of the story. I think she is irredeemably stupid and evil and dangerous. So just wanted to talk about this story a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. I've used Uber and Lyft hundreds of times each, Uber more than Lyft, and I've never had a notably awful experience before. You know, I've never gotten into a car and felt unsafe. You know, I look at my driver and he's wearing like a trench coat and sharpening a hacksaw and then winks at me. I've never had like a really bad time with ride sharing. The only time it got wacky and weird was one time I took an Uber leaving the bar, and on the way home, I was convinced I was in the car with a prophet, like an angel. We were driving on the interstate, just 2 boys being dudes, and out of nowhere, the Uber driver pulls a prophecy out of his asshole. He said, "This guy's about to hit the median." And at first, I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought it was like a riddle that I had to solve or something to get money off of the Uber rides. I was like, oh, the answer is time, you know? But then I realized he was talking about the car in front of us, obviously. And it felt really weird to me because the car wasn't doing anything weird. We were behind them for a little while, like maybe a mile or two, and they weren't driving erratically or recklessly. They didn't look like a drunk driver or anything. And then out of nowhere, a couple of seconds after he said that, he like willed it into existence. The car swerved and scraped against the median and then tried to get back into the lane. Out of fucking nowhere. I was like, oh my god, we are living in a simulation. But yeah, that was my weirdest experience with Uber and ride sharing in general. But of course I've seen the horror stories, like the absolutely awful ones, and this is one of those. This is a pretty special one.
You know, I'm just trying to ask you to go to speed limit is all.
I'm saying I'm gonna go.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Don't really know what's going on in her car here. She's created a little crime scene there. Like, stepping into this vehicle looks like you'd be stepping into your neighbor's shitty haunted house on Halloween. It's just really goofy looking. I don't get it. I guess it's supposed to be early Halloween decorations. She's got like a blow-up sex doll in the passenger seat. Or maybe it's there to like prevent her passengers from getting up front. Like, hey, you can't sit there. Clearly, this inflatable Mr. Krabs doll's taking that seat. So just get in the back, alright? You know, I don't even know what the fuck it is. I mean, maybe it's an inflatable clown or something. I couldn't tell you, but it's pretty weird stuff. Now what happened is the passenger asked if they could roll down the window and drive the speed limit, which I think is a pretty reasonable request because this lady's out here driving like it's Grand Theft Auto 5. I was half expecting her to try and ramp this vehicle off of a parked tow truck. She's treating it like it's Fast and Furious universe and she's trying to catch Dominic Toretto. So it's not like the passenger's being an asshole or anything, just asking, hey, can you drive the speed limit so you don't kill both of us here? And that just sets her off. She loses her goddamn mind there. Slow down! Fucking yanks on the e-brake and does a 360. Suck on this, pussy fart! You can hear, like, this tires start screeching. She completely takes her eyes off the road, turns around and starts swiping at the camera like she's a kaiju, like Godzilla trying to knock over a building. And meanwhile, the passenger's laughing the entire time. The absolute fucking dick on this man, the fucking balls of pure adamantium to laugh through an experience like this is inspiring. They could have very easily died here. The driver went feral and totally forgot they were operating a vehicle. This could have ended up like the Billy Madison scene where O'Doyle Rules just fucking shoots their car off a cliff like a missile. And meanwhile, the whole time, the guy's just giggling about it.
Alright. Well, you're gonna have to, hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk. I'm not going anywhere until you open that trunk.
Unironically, she starts squealing. Literally squealing. This is what a small dog sounds like when it's trying to intimidate a larger dog, but it's also very afraid as well. It actually sounds like somebody stepped on a toad. It is shocking that a human being can make this noise with their vocal cords. This is what it sounds like to smoke 15 packs a day.
Alright. Well, you're gonna have to, hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk.
Sorry to hit you with the surprise instant replay on the Jumbotron. It's just I'm so impressed with her ability to hit this screeching note. This is the brown note. Like, hearing that makes a human being involuntarily shit themselves. This is such an abhorrent sound. It's like someone's recorder broke, but they still desperately tried to play hot cross buns on it.
Nope. You're gonna have to get my bag out of your car. I just want my bag, man. That's all I want was my bag. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm no Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, but I'm pretty sure this is a highly illegal act here. You can't just pull over on a busy interstate and kick out the passenger, because they could easily just get hit by a car and die, and you're fully responsible for it. What a remarkably reckless decision from this asshole here. But credit where credit is due, she did slam him with a real humdinger, saying, "Fuck you and fuck your mom too." So she tossed in a "your mom" there, so she really got him. I was really hoping she'd double down and go for a D's nuts as well. Just be like, "Hey, yeah, you can you get off at the D's exit and find another Lyft. D's nutties." Then she fucking peels out, poof, drifts in there. But she handled herself like a professional, only sticking with a "your mother" statement as she launched his suitcase across the road.
Me too.
So she's running around barefoot like a hobbit, threatening an Uno reverse card, saying, "Well, I'm also filming everything, so that way we have two angles of how stupid I am and how reckless of a driver I am." I don't think there's any world or any multiverse out there where there's a single reality where what she was doing was justifiable. She was driving extremely fast and reckless. She turned around to swipe at the guy's phone while driving extremely fast, tires screeching, and then pulling off to the side of the road to kick him out. Pretty hard to defend stuff, I'd say. As she blasts off back onto the road, she nearly clipped the van that was next to her because she tried to get back too early, and that would have been an absolute catastrophe. Her road rage almost got even more people hurt. Then she left this guy stranded. I'm assuming he was able to find his way back to civilization after being dropped off in the middle of fucking nowhere on the interstate. And yeah, I don't really think this is the best Lyft experience. I would imagine this is at the absolute least 2 stars, I would say. It has to be. Because this was not great. This was not, you know, spectacular service, I would argue. But at least he survived the trip. I was getting worried when she was driving the car and slamming backwards, screeching tires and shit. I thought that was just going to be the end of him. I thought we were looking at like some Blair Witch Project found footage kind of shit, but luckily everyone was okay. That's about it. So yeah. The algorithm's got me by the sack right now. It's holding my peepers open, Clockwork Orange style, feeding me videos of horrible drivers now. I made 2 videos recently, one with that lady that wouldn't stop texting and driving and then crashed her rented car, and then one about the guy who wouldn't stop drinking and driving and crashed his car multiple times. And because I watched both of those videos, now I'm getting fed tons just like it. And I can't resist yapping about two of them in particular. This first one here is despicable. This guy should 100% lose his license forever. He should never be allowed behind the wheel of a vehicle ever again.
Doesn't mean moving in the truck, but I don't think he'll say, hey, Al, I need to move in the truck, or if not, I gotta go, or anything like that.
Crash detected.
Oh my god, dude, I just fucking wrecked Israel's truck, dude.
911 assist.
Oh my god!
A 911.
Oh my god! Oh my god, dude! Holy Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh!
This guy's acting like a toddler in the backseat of his parents' car. He just has both hands glued to his tablet. Allegedly, according to the post title, he was playing Candy Crush on it. I don't know if that's confirmed. It could have been Clash Royale. Maybe he was trying to get some Robux or something. Who's really to say? But what's very clear is he is not looking up at the road at all. This isn't even distracted driving. It is the act of not driving. He is fundamentally just behind the wheel of a missile right now because he doesn't even look at the road a single time. He is just completely fixated on that tablet. And apparently it's not even his truck in the first place. He has turned this vehicle into a weapon. He is not operating at all. He just has his foot on the gas, fucking plowing straight forward come hell or high water. He is just playing on his tablet the whole time. Is it like, I guess, what happens when an iPad kid gets their driver's license? I don't know. This is scary stuff, though. He truly should never be allowed to operate a vehicle again. I'd even go a step forward. He should never even be behind the wheel of anything that resembles a vehicle again. Like, even those, like, electric toy cars that toddlers ride around in, he shouldn't be allowed to touch one of those. He shouldn't even be allowed on a fucking scooter. And I don't even mean just an electric scooter. I mean even just like a push-powered razor scooter he shouldn't even be behind. So he crashes this truck that, again, doesn't even belong to him. And he doesn't even seem to care that he just hit another car, which has human beings in it. At no point does he ever even express any concern for their well-being. Instead, he just keeps reiterating, like, how bad it is for him. And then he starts, like, playing Bop It with every single thing he can find in the truck. Like, he just starts, like, fondling every single thing in that vehicle's cabin. I don't know if he was trying to fish around for the tablet because he can't be separated from it. That's probably what he was doing. He was probably desperately looking for that tablet. But you can hear him talking to somebody on the phone, and he just doesn't even seem to care that he may have just potentially killed people there. He is just only focused on, like, oh, jeepers, zoinks. I just wrecked Israel's car here. Oh, goodness gracious. Shucks. What a shame. This one made me furious. I don't know how it's possible someone would do what he did. Both hands off the wheel, staring deeply into a tablet like it's a fucking crystal ball that you're trying to see the future with. Anyway, I'll stop yapping about that douchebag. The next one here is a viral one. As far as, like, bad, distracted drivers go that I've covered recently, like with the woman who wouldn't stop texting, the guy who wouldn't stop drinking, this guy that wouldn't stop playing mobile games on his tablet, she is not in that category. She was filming an Instagram reel for Hit Me Baby One More Time and then crashed.
Hit me, baby, one more time!
So apparently the car slid on the gravel and then flipped over like this. And it came right after her saying, "Hit me baby one more time," so it was pretty crazy circumstances there. Now I don't know if there's a longer clip that exists, like how distracted she was with the recording here, like if she was doing like a full-blown fucking music video here for Hit Me Baby One More Time, her karaoke version of it. But she doesn't seem to be, like, overly focused on the phone. She glanced at it briefly, so it doesn't seem like it's to the level of, like, some streamers who are, like, reading chat and donations and shit and not paying attention. Though, I do think just don't record while driving. That's the simplest, most obvious solution here. Just don't do things that distract you while driving, like fucking filming Instagram reels and TikToks and shit behind the wheel. It's just not worth endangering your life and the life of everyone else on the road. When I was younger, my perspective on it was a little different, so I filmed like a couple of like rant videos while driving a long time ago. And nowadays, I just wouldn't do that. I was under the impression that as long as you're paying attention to the road, who really cares if it's being filmed as well? But I wouldn't do that anymore these days. It's just not worth the risk at all. Just pay attention to the road. Now, she caught a lot of shit from people for grabbing her phone after the crash, like, oh, look at this generation. They just have to get to their phone first thing to do after a crash. Typical. I personally find that take a little silly. Because I don't know how many of you have been in accidents, but it's a very panic-inducing affair. And typically, once you make sure you're safe, or if you got involved in an accident with others, you make sure other people are safe, the first thing you do is call for help. Like, in this case, it seems she recognized it was a single-car accident, so after she, like, came to, the first thing she does is reach for her phone, presumably to call for help. Meanwhile, people were clowning on her, saying like, oh, look, she had to make sure she posted her reel before doing anything else, when I don't think that was the case at all. I don't think the first thing she scrambled to do after being upside down in her vehicle was try and post the clip for some internet updates. I imagine she tried to get the phone to call for help. So I don't think this was like a really odd reaction to what happened here from her to like grab at her phone or something. Again, most people are going to call 911 in an emergency, which this is. I don't know. Maybe that's a hot take for me. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, though, just wanted to blabber about this. That's about it. See ya. There is an update to the Corey Harris case here. The Zoom court hearing where he was driving with a suspended license. The judge was stunned, even made this face right here, which is a really, really good face that he's making. It kind of reminds me of 007 characters, like the bad guys, when you like zoom in on their face after they get shot. So the story started with him going to the Zoom court hearing while driving. The judge is like, I might be misunderstanding something here. Someone help me out. Am I off my gourd right now? He's driving, and he has a suspended license. There's a suspended license case, and he is driving on the Zoom call. And he just goes, yep, that's correct, Your Honor. So then he ended up turning himself in. He was released 2 days later, like after spending 2 days in jail. Turns out his license suspension was rescinded 2 years ago. So he should have been able to drive, no problem. It shouldn't have been an issue at all. So that was the update to it. And then today, I saw this when we finished cryptid hunting. I saw that there was another update to this where apparently he never had a license, which I haven't really looked into yet. I'm going to learn together with everybody. But it makes me wonder, how the fuck can the system be this disheveled, broken, and dog shit that not only did he not have a license, but somehow they suspended an imaginary license, rescinded the suspension on an imaginary license, then went back, double-checked the suspended rescission, or rescinding, and gave that the green light, gave that the stamp of approval, when it never existed in the fucking first place. It's like a huffalump. Like, that makes no sense. Like, how is there not a paper trail for a license? So let's learn together how this has all unfolded. On May 15th, Michigan man named Corey Harris showed up to virtual court hearing behind the wheel of his car. All right, this is just going to be the setting the stage, the foundation. Okay, here. Things got even stranger at a Wednesday hearing, which began with Judge J. Cedric Simpson revealing that Harris has in fact never had a driver's license and ended with the defendant being taken into custody. Simpson opened the hearing by saying he wanted to make sure the record was clear. Based upon what the court has looked at, he has never had a Michigan license ever. And he has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license. The judge went on to untangle the confusion, explaining that it had not been Harris's license that had been suspended last October in Pittsfield Township, but rather his privilege to drive in the state. Hints, for example, if he had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. In fact, Harris apparently knew this. Prosecutor Conrad Siller said during the Wednesday hearing that police body camera footage showed Harris acknowledging at least twice to the officer who pulled him over that he didn't have a valid license. Jesus Christ. This is a lot to process. As to how the court figured it out, Simpson explained that his office had gone back through Harris's records, finding that he had applied for his first Michigan photo ID on May 3rd, 1999 at the age of 19. Counsel knows, and so do I, you cannot have both. Either you have an ID or you have a license. And he has religiously every year gotten a new ID, and so he knows that he doesn't have a license. And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that at the beginning, and all this hoopla could have just been put all aside. Brother, Your Honor, Simpson just dropped a hoopla, a cold hoopla in court right there. What a fucking statement. This guy said, I've had enough of this. It's time to end it. I didn't invent hoopla. He didn't steal my word. I haven't trademarked that. It's not copyrighted. I got it from SpongeBob. Hoopla, hoopla, hoopla. That shit. How did his lawyers not know that? Because it seems like Judge Simpson was really tired of the circus that followed this Zoom court meeting or hearing. And is like, oh, fuck it, I'll do it myself. We'll do it live. I can't trust anyone. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So he went into the trenches, combed through all the paperwork manually, and got to the bottom of it. Like I said, anytime you deal with anything even tangentially related to the government, I have learned it is a fucking disaster. I don't know how the country functions in any semblance of the word with the people that are in these government positions. They do not. They refuse to do their jobs. Straight up refuse to. It's laughable. That's why I don't believe in government conspiracies. They're too incompetent. Hey, checkmate. That's a good point, actually. That is a really good point. They can't even figure out whether or not someone has a license, and they act based off of just imaginary dreams that they had about this license. Yet somehow they're going to have these grand conspiracies about fucking 5G towers rewriting your DNA and injecting COVID into your cockhole or whatever. After Harris' disastrous pre-trial hearing on May 15th, Simpson revoked his bond and ordered him to turn himself in to the county jail that evening, where he spent 2 nights. 2 weeks later, shortly after Harris went viral, ABC affiliate WXYZ... Man, I've actually never read that out loud. I usually just brush over that because I don't feel like saying it all. Man, that's super stupid. ABC affiliate WXYZ. It's trash. I hate that branding. Reported that his suspension, which was tied to a child support case, had actually been lifted by a judge in 2022. It has literally been pure hell. I've been assaulted, I've been followed, I've been laughed at, I've been ridiculed, I have been disrespected, Harris told of the situation. He's been assaulted? Jesus Christ. Like in jail, maybe? Have random people on the street just been accosting this man? That's terrible. The report shed light on the seeming thicket of bureaucratic incompetence that had led to the wrongful citation. In order to see his driving record wiped clean, Harris was supposed to have paid a $125 fee to the Saginaw County Court Clerk's office, which would have allowed the court to send a notice of clearance to the Michigan Secretary of State's office, which oversees regulation of the state's motor vehicles. Harris pointed the finger at Saginaw County Friend of the Court, an office that assists court administrators. They're supposed to have lifted it 2 years ago, but they didn't always double check. Yeah, that's what he said, where like they just don't do what they're supposed to. So this is once again just kind of like a recap of like the previous update. Simpson defended his sister court on Wednesday, saying that the Saginaw County friend of the court had done nothing wrong. His driving privileges were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it. Therefore, the friend of the court was under no obligation to send anything to the Secretary of State. Wait, but he never had a license. Like, this shouldn't have even... They had nothing to unsuspend. He never had a driver's license. Like, I need to look up driving privileges. Is there paperwork for driving privileges? Like, is that a totally separate filing? Because I feel like he's just making that shit up right now. Like, that's something my parents would have made up in order to get me to eat my vegetables or do chores or something. I've never heard of that. Yeah, let's see. I'll do it on my phone real quick. It'll be faster. What is driving privileges? I'll do, like, court. Well, I dreadfully misspelled that. I typed in privileges. So that didn't work. Hold on. All right. A limited driving privilege is a judgment issued in the discretion of a court for good cause shown authorizing a person with a revoked driver's license to drive for essential purposes related to any of the following: employment or maintenance of a person's household. Okay. Interesting. It was not immediately clear if anyone had notified Harris of the outstanding fee back in 2022. He paid it on Monday, a spokesperson for the Secretary of State previously confirmed, and Simpson said Wednesday that the friend of the court had immediately sent over the notice of clearance taking the suspension privileges off his driving record. The judge emphasized that no clerical error had been made either by his office, the Pittsfield Police, or Saginaw County authorities. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. It really wasn't, though. What? You guys also bear a lot of blame here. Like, this has been such a fucking convoluted series of, like, twists and turns and tubes to go through. It's not all on him. Driving privileges, driver's license, fucking... It's all over the place. I'm gonna do the Summer Game Fest stream Friday. Yes, I am. I will be. It's crazy just how inefficient all of the systems are. It's so crazy. How could there not just be like one simple protocol? Do you have your license? No. Do you have driving privileges? Yes. Okay. Here's records of both. And then you work from that. It should not be this convoluted. It can't be. Why is there 4 different bodies here that this goes through? The fucking Saginaw BFF of the court, the Secretary of State, the Pittsfield Police, and what was the other one? I forgot the other one. There's just so fucking many. It's just needlessly confusing. Charlie, most of the military still runs on XP. Let that sink in. Not only the military, most hospitals still run off of Windows XP. And they probably always will. Harris's attorney, public defender Dionne Webster Cox, who appeared alongside him in the WXYZ interview, said that she was committed to resolving the case and that Harris was in the process of procuring his license. She said he had his permit test scheduled for Thursday. Once he gets his permit, he's got to drive for at least 30 days. Apparently, he knows how to do that part. After cracking a smile. Other parts of the hearing were less jovial, particularly when Webster Cox stressed that it wasn't Harris's fault that he was now a meme. My client didn't start the hoop. Oh my God, they're dropping hoopla back and forth in here. It's a real Thunderdome. We got ourselves a clash of the Titans. Now the public defender's dropping hoopla. You can't just invoke the power of that word. It's like Voldemort's name. It's an ancient incantation. Perhaps he's made some comments, but he didn't start the hoopla whatsoever. That was someone that was outside of his control. Simpson seemed to take exception to this. You say it wasn't started by him. Oh, it certainly was. It was certainly when he made his first statement to WXYZ. The judge added that the person Harris needed to blame for the kerfuffle. This is so unserious. This one wasn't a quote, though, so this one's just from whoever wrote the article, dropping in a mean kerfuffle. It is actually a children's book here. These are Rick and Morty words. Was the person that was staring at him, the person that he was staring at in the mirror. He later added, just own it. Once you own it, then it becomes a whole lot easier just to move forward. What do you know about being a meme, Judge Simpson? Your Honor? What experience do you have there? The judge then brought up the fact that Harris had a warrant out for his arrest stemming from a separate traffic stop in Allen Park in June 2015 when he'd again been cited for driving without a license. Simpson acknowledged that he didn't know whether this had been mentioned to Harris after the pretrial hearing last month. I really don't care whether he was or not. All I know is that was back in mid-May, and it hasn't been taken care of. Simpson then had court officer escort Harris out of the room. Online records show that Harris has since posted bond in the case. Next court date for the traffic stop is August 13th, while the next hearing in this viral case is slated for August 7th. Mark your calendars, we got another summer blockbuster coming up for this case. I'm sure there's going to be another twist to it where it turns out that Harris is actually like a deep covert operative here. Something. Gonna get the CTU involved with Jack Bauer somehow. Yeah, I don't know what else can come from this in terms of like shocking twists. I think it's all like that's got to be the last bomb that drops, right? Surely there's no more. So I imagine come August it'll just be standard court proceedings, probably nothing crazy. But who knows, this is becoming quite the high-profile case. Throughout my entire academic career, I got consistently decent grades because I did the bare minimum of just turning in assignments when they were due. But of course, I'd occasionally slip up, you know, I'm human, everyone makes mistakes. And in those situations, I always did what every cornered animal does. I lashed out, I showed my teeth, and I threw the Hail Mary. So I'd always try and weasel my way out or buy extra time through a little white lie, coming up with an excuse. I'd always try the classics like, hey professor, I'm sorry, my report's not ready today, I'm gonna need a little extra time. Last night, I found my brother lying face down in a pool of his own vomit. As you know, he struggles with alcoholism and he was about to meet his maker, so I had to improvise a saline drip solution in order to save his life, and things just got away from me and I ran out of time. You know, I just try it because why not? There's no reason not to at least try and come up with an excuse to get a little extra time out of the assignment. But you know what there's never an excuse for? Drunk driving. Yeah, you bet your sweet bippy all of that was to say, I have no fucking respect for drunk drivers at all. I think it's inexcusable, I think it's unforgivable. Like, there's just never any justification for driving drunk. Especially not in today's world, where there's like Uber, Lyft, there's like 1,000 ways of just getting a ride home. Like, Jesus Christ, you could probably find someone on Craigslist that's giving piggyback rides out for $10. Like, there's just always a better way that doesn't involve driving drunk. And the reason I'm talking about that today is because a TikTok star named Amanda Caravala just lost her whole influencer career because a very embarrassing video has now hit the internet of her DUI that she received last year. It's fucking rough. I just saw a lot of people talking about it. I don't know the TikTok star, but it's apparently a pretty goofy video. So I wanted to at least see a little bit about it. It's nothing crazy. Okay, I'm still gonna give it a chance. This intro is going so hard for no reason. Makes me feel like I'm watching Miami Vice. What seems to be the problem, officer? How long are we just gonna stay? I mean, I think we can safely assume she's sleeping here. Maybe knock on the window. Are we timing her? Yeah, it looks like everything's okay here. Oh my god, wait, there's more police officers. Oh, you can't see it. Behind my webcam. There's more police officers right here. Man, this whole block was popping off here. Damn. Everyone's catching the heat out here. I think we can establish that this is no condition to be driving in. She's missed a full cycle already. They might run if he wakes her up. That's a really good point that I didn't think about. That was actually a good point. So what's the proper protocol here? Slash her tires so she can't? Like, we're gonna have to wake her up eventually. We can't just let her sleep here all night. Oh. I see, so that was the play.
Whoa. Wake up! Put it in park!
Put the car in park!
Put
Damn.
the car in park!
She's like a zombie.
Police department, put the car in park!
Holy shit.
Wake up!
What is happening in there? This reminds me of the scene from the Resident Evil movie where there's that guy who says, "Don't open the door," right before he gets like his head blown off.
Come park over here.
Yeah, Amanda's having a real tough time here staying in this corporeal realm. Every time she starts dozing off, her jaw just falls to the floor like a Dementor about to suck out some happiness. It is like actually kind of disturbing to look at. I've been super drunk, like turbo intoxicated, and I can't recall any videos of me ever looking like that. Like, that is a different level where like your jaw muscles stop responding to you. So this could be more than just alcohol. Of course, I'm not there testing her blood or going over toxicology reports. I'm just speculating as a pea-brained fucking idiot observer over here. It just looks really weird that her jaw is doing its absolute best to escape her face. She starts looking like the monster from the Amnesia game. Man, this is rough. Holy shit, how long do we stay in this standoff?
Would you mind opening the door for me?
Break the window? I'm surprised they haven't. Hey, there we go.
Excellent. There we go.
Hey, nice. Police department.
Hey, what's going on?
Take your seatbelt off.
How fast was I going?
Show where you're at.
They're both, yeah, checking out the seats. I think you guys are like, shit, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Relax for a second.
What happened?
Do you know where you're at?
Yeah?
Where?
At the decision.
At the what?
I don't know, man.
At the what?
At the decision that.
Go step over here. Hey, we're gonna go over here. Go over.
At the what? What did you? The Abin Simon? Holy shit! Damn, she is fucked up.
A bunch of cop cars.
Nice, astute observation.
Alright, come over here. Hello.
Maybe she's sober.
What's your name?
Amanda.
Amanda, what's going on tonight?
He's talking to her like a dog.
Cop car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me?
Yes. How much have you had to drink tonight? How much have you had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Be honest.
What time is it?
3 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, how much have you had to drink?
3 o'clock. I've had 3 o'clock to drink tonight.
Okay. Alright. So my next question to you. Alright, man.
Can't argue with that, to be fair. That was a pretty good
Anything
checkmate.
medically wrong with you? Are you diabetic?
How am I supposed to track your finger with just my eyes when my kids' cars are moving over here?
Okay. Alright, so kids' cars? Okay.
Do you want to face this way?
Yeah,
What is she seeing? My kids' cars? This is like in Looney Tunes where when someone gets hit with a mallet over their head, they're seeing like stars and little Tweety birds flying around in circles. This is... What the fuck? Yeah, this is like beyond faded. No, I'm sorry for the mistake, ma'am. Please, continue on your way. Seems we were wrong.
No shit!
Oh boy.
No shit!
Now we've reached that stage of being drunk where it's just loud and angry. Well, she either got banned or doesn't have an account on here anymore. Now, Amanda Caravala wasn't like a super duper TikTok star, but she had almost 2 billion views on the platform before, I'm assuming, being removed from it, or maybe she got laughed off the platform once this video was released. I'm really not sure on the timeline there. But if you want a little more information on the case, this video is actually from 2021, and she pled guilty and was sentenced to 12 months probation and 6 days of community service, and then paid about $2,000 in fines. So overall, she got off pretty easy. Even though she wasn't involved in an accident or there are no victims, at least not that we know of, I still think that this is light sentencing, but of course it could be my own bias because of how much I despise the act of drunk driving. It's needlessly dangerous and endangers not only the driver's life, but anyone in their car and anyone in any car around them. It's fucking ridiculous. So she got off super easy. Like, I mean, goddamn. When they asked her how much she had to drink, her reply was 3 o'clock. She's had 3 o'clock to drink. Do you know how much that is? If you convert that into fluid ounces, that's like 5,000 beers. Like, that is an incredible amount of alcohol she's consumed. Like, her BAC must have been like a 10.0. Oh yeah, I also didn't show it in the video here, but I'll just explain it to you. Towards the end of her arrest, she kept asking for someone named Mike Davis to show up to the scene, as if she was like trying to summon Batman. Like, she repeatedly asks for some vigilante named Mike Davis, who apparently works for that police department. And that got a big giggle out of me, because I love to imagine, like, Mike Davis hears his name being called somewhere, and he hops in his car and his cruiser, turns on the siren, scoots in sideways, and gets out like an action movie hero and says, "All right, boys, I've got it from here. You're safe now, Amanda." Like, I just have to imagine, like, she must have known of someone loosely in the police department and just tried her best to, like, get out of this by dropping his name, to no avail, still getting arrested. And then she makes a huge hoopla in the car on the way there. But yeah, I just wanted to show this because I think this is an instructive moment on how your entire online career can be undone with one horrible decision. And not only that, a decision like drunk driving could just straight up end your life. One bad decision like that could just straight up fucking kill you. That's not an exaggeration. That shit happens all the time. Fuck drunk driving. Don't do it. A little PSA. That's about it. So yeah. Let's just call it like it is. We'll be honest with each other, a little heart to heart. No reason to pull any punches. There's a lot of weirdos in Twitch chat. I might even be talking about you specifically. Maybe you're one of the goofballs I'm referring to. And unfortunately today, one of these weirdos crossed a line and became a criminal. A streamer by the name of Just Foxy had her car lit on fire by an arsonist who was a stalker of hers from Twitch chat. This deranged imbecile drove 700 miles to this streamer's house to try and meet her, I suppose, and then eventually set her car on fire. Brother, I wouldn't drive 700 miles to drink from the fountain of youth. This is crazy shit. This is unhinged behavior, obviously. I believe this is a case of a parasocial, obsessed fan. At least that's the impression I get from the story, because this kind of thing has unfortunately happened before in the past. It's horrifying.
I watched him put a brick on my car, on the hood, and some pot. And he lit something sticking out of it and walked away casually, like he didn't do anything. The next clip after that was the front end of my car engulfed in flames. The firefighters came very quickly, and I'm very thankful for that, because the fire spread to the fence and burnt the side of my house as well, which my mom and animals were inside of.
Now, Just Foxy does have security cameras around her house, and she was able to capture the entire incident. So this was a big say cheese moment, because she caught this guy in 4K for the Criminal Cringe compilation, and according to her, he was also arrested. But she hasn't posted anything about the individual or the arrest yet, because clearly it's an ongoing and very sensitive case. But she did post the CCTV footage from the event, so I'll go ahead and show you the raw footage of it. Goober alert, goober alert. He tries to put on like a disguise here, so he's got a mask and a hat pulled down real low, but it's pretty inefficient because it still looks like he's got some patchy-ass mutton chops there. So I'm pretty excited to see his mugshot to see what he looks like, though I can already wager a guess that it's not pleasant. So this little worm sets up the arson cupcake and lights the birthday candle and waddles away, and it engulfs the car in flames. This does not appear to be his first rodeo with arson. He was very casual about the whole thing. It also appears that this was premeditated. He traveled 700 miles with this as his primary goal, to light her shit on fire. Because this doesn't appear to be a contraption that he just MacGyvered together with like fucking sticks, glue, and spit. This appears like he traveled with all the materials he'd need to commit arson, though I'm not an expert, I'm just speculating. Obviously, this whole thing is pretty traumatic not only for Just Foxy, but her family. I mean, like she mentioned, the flames did spread to the house, and the mom and animals were in the house at the time that all this went down. So, just a really scary situation overall.
I just never thought that when I started streaming back in 2015 that something like this would ever happen to me.
It is super sad. It is something that most people aren't going to think about when they start streaming, because I imagine most people, myself included, go into a stream assuming that everyone that's watching them is just there to be entertained and nothing further. Everyone's, you know, mentally stable. There's not going to be any kind of fishy business or anything weird afoot. But unfortunately, it's just becoming more and more common for viewers to form this parasocial relationship with the content and the creators that they enjoy watching. And I think that plays a large part into a situation like this, where that parasocial relationship becomes an obsession, and then it becomes a stalker, and then it becomes this. And it's fucking scary. By no means is it just Foxy's fault. Unfortunately, this has happened a couple of times in the past. Like Amaranth, a little while back, had a stalker in a similar situation where the stalker drove fucking, you know, tons of miles to her house and lit her trash on fire to try and burn down her house. Literally just like fucking cremate the place she lives. Somehow that would work in his favor so they could live happily ever after or some shit. It's deranged. It's scary. Amaranth also had another stalker that sold all of his worldly possessions on the other side of the world, literally gave away all of his corporeal belongings, so that way he could move closer to Amaranth so he could stalk her more efficiently. It's fucking scary. There are people like that, unfortunately, on Twitch, and I feel like a lot of people outside of the streaming space don't really understand that. So I want to tackle a couple of conspiracies that have sprouted up from this whole situation, because somehow Twitter brainrot found a new way of shocking me with the stupidity. There were a lot of people claiming that this is all baloney. This is a bunch of nonsense mumbo-jumbo. She's faking everything. There are people just outright denying that the CCTV footage was even real. They were literally covering their eyes and plugging their ears, like acting as though the CCTV footage doesn't exist of the guy literally burning her car down. So I don't even know where to start. You are too far gone if you think that this is somehow CGI or deep-faked. That's ridiculous. And then the next big conspiracy theory is that it's all an insurance scam from Just Foxy, which is a crazy take. Because for the insurance scam to have worked here, she would have shot herself in the foot by filming it, because now there is a person there. There is a person in the footage, and that person has been arrested, according to Just Foxy. And if this was all an insurance scam, that guy would squeal. He would absolutely be like, she paid me to do it, this is all just an insurance scam. Like, everything would crumble. It would be a terrible insurance scam idea to film your own insurance scam, which is why insurance scammers usually don't want the video evidence. Like, that's usually what unwinds and untangles a scam like that. So that would be a crazy plot twist if somehow this was all an insurance scam, because there would be so many things wrong with that theory. And then the other thing I keep seeing from people, which absolutely shows me the majority of the internet is actually 9 years old now, is them saying like, why does she care? She's got insurance. She'll just get the car right back, or, you know, things like that. What do you mean? Does insurance also cover the trauma of having a complete stranger go and set your shit on fire in the middle of the night and nearly kill your mom and dog as well? Like, what are you talking about? Even if insurance does cover the cost of the car, that doesn't take away the entire situation. That doesn't just erase the memories like a neuralizer from Men in Black. Like, that doesn't solve the situation. What the fuck? Like, you'd probably cry if somebody, like, came over and took a fucking Cheeto out of your bag of Cheetos that you're eating right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense to try and write off this whole situation. Like, who cares? Insurance is there for a reason. It's so fucking stupid. People are so desperate for everything to be an argument, or so desperate to feel special and intelligent, like I'm the only galaxy brain that was big enough to piece together the real puzzle behind the scenes. This is not a clear-cut case of arson like everyone seems to think. It goes much deeper than that. And then vomiting out the dumbest fucking ideas ever. It's just infuriating because on the video she posted about it, the comment section is an absolute mess. Pyrocynical made a video about this just recently, and he pointed out a lot of the comments, so I went to check, and there's even more now. Like, the video is heavily disliked with her just sharing her experience with this very awful event that happened to her, and there's so many people just saying she deserved it for being on Twitch, or it's all just a lie, it's ridiculous, you know, you won't fool me. It's so fucking dumb. There is no such thing as innocent until proven guilty here. I don't think she's guilty of some kind of conspiratorial giant insurance scam. That would be nuts. Like, all of it just is so ridiculous. I don't know how we got to this point where everyone wants to make everything a problem. Like, no, we can't agree that your car being set on fire and your house almost burning down is a bad thing. In fact, here's why it's a good thing and you deserved it. Like, what the fuck? Like, how terminally online and ill can you be to actually have that take? But yeah, horrible situation. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. This apparently happened like a week or so ago, and she just now released the information about it because she's been dealing with the aftermath of the situation. So I'm excited to see more details from the arrest because I really want to see the guy's mugshot. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, that's really about it. Terrible shit all around, and that's it. So yeah. I've talked about this on stream, but I don't think I've ever made a full video going over it. I'm very confident that none of you watching this video right now will be able to guess my least favorite genre of content on the internet. This isn't like a pop quiz, this is a step above that. This is an SAT level question here. And I'm reading you like a book, I'm inside your mind. I've infiltrated your noodle like Charles Xavier. I bet all of you went to something simple and obvious, like, oh, his least favorite genre of content has gotta be pranks, or fake videos, cringe trends, scammers, and they're all great guesses. Of course, I do dislike all of that, but it's not my least favorite genre of content on the entirety of the cyberspace. That honor belongs to the douchebags that drive cars extremely fast and dangerously on public roads around other people, endangering their lives. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. There's a group of losers online who come from very privileged backgrounds. Most of these people are like late teens, early 20s that come from mommy and daddy's money and never stop suckling on their tit to get as much dollars out of their family as they can. So these trust fund kids have these expensive cars and they flex by just driving them fast on like the interstate or even residential roads, and they just disregard every other vehicle on the road, weave around them, blow by them, whatever. Just caution to the wind, and obviously it's extremely dangerous, but it's also extremely boring. They're not doing anything impressive. They're not like fucking Dominic Toretto ramping a muscle car off of a parked tow truck like it's something out of GTA 5. They are actual just goobers, not even on manual transmission 9 times out of 10, just going around innocent people and going by them extremely fast. It's fucking stupid. It is legitimately like watching static on a television screen. It's just mind-numbing. So it's not only dangerous, but it's for literally no entertainment value at all. I guess for them it's like an adrenaline rush because they could die at any moment, because obviously they can at those speeds. But the reason I'm talking about this is because one of these assholes actually just went viral, and he's been getting dunked on ever since. And I've actually been following his Twitter since he popped off because I wanted to see what else he does, and this is his whole personality. All he does is drive his mom's BMW fast and recklessly. Wow, holy shit, that was epic. Did you see how fast he was going? On a straight road, doing nothing, not even stick shifts, automatic transmission, he's Weenie Hut Jr. mode. It's like watching the world's most boring cutscene in a video game. That is this dude. That is this whole fucking community. So obviously a million things could have gone wrong here. Someone could have been trying to cross the street. Someone could have been making a lane change, and he wouldn't have had time to stop at the speed he was going because it was over 100, and there would have been no survivors. He's also driving one-handed while filming with the other, which is just another thing to add to the laundry list of dog shit about this video. I've also seen this guy's arms, and I've got to tell you, he's got that fucking SpongeBob build, but without the anchor arms. I am shocked he even has the strength to open the door to this BMW to get inside of it. So I hate this shit. I hate this more than Garfield hates Mondays. This is my least favorite genre of content by far. He is not the only one doing it, obviously, but right now he is the proudest douchebag about it, and this went the most viral, so it's got people talking about it. He's also just this insufferable asshole in the comments who keeps flexing his parents' wealth on people, saying that anyone that dislikes this is just poor. and he openly recognizes that this is going to get him killed. This fucking guy is glued to his Twitter replies like a teenage girl on Instagram. He is replying to everyone, so I've actually got a pretty good handle on this dude's entire personality. He loves like Rainbow Six Siege and shit, and loves endangering the lives of innocent people around him. He has no remorse. He openly talks about how it doesn't bother him, and that when he does crash, it's probably going to lead to him dying. Though he did mention in one other case that if he does crash and survives, he'll probably just run away. What a stand-up guy. What an absolute gold star citizen right there. What a fucking hero. Now, with this kind of content, it's just a ticking time bomb. It's really just a matter of when, not if, he crashes. So, the best case scenario here, like the best outcome you can hope for, is that when he inevitably does crash, he doesn't take any lives with him. Just gotta hope for a single car accident. Maybe he even survives and learns from the experience, but the most important part is no one else is a victim of this guy's recklessness. This isn't the only video he's posted. Like I mentioned, he has posted another one 3 days ago doing the same thing but endangering more people's lives on the interstate. I forgot to mention, this imbecile actually has the audacity to watermark these videos. It's so laughably pathetic that he actually believes this is something to be proud of. So goddamn embarrassing. I don't know how the fuck you can be so delusional to think that this is something cool. It's also such a headache because I can't use my favorite Fast and Furious line of granny shifting, not double clutching like you should, because it doesn't apply to this guy because he's in automatic transmission again, you fucking worm. He's not even granny shifting. He probably doesn't even know what it means. But yeah, just another demonstration of douchebaggery here. Just weaving between cars. Most likely just families on the way home from school or work. How cool, I guess. Just putting them in danger. No matter how great a driver you are, and trust me, this guy is not a great driver, there are just some things you can't account for on the road. And that's other people. There is so much uncertainty when driving that you cannot actually have any power over. The other people on the road behind the wheel are always unpredictable, so driving recklessly around them is just a death wish. This kind of selfish clout goblin behavior, this look at me, I'm the main character kind of shit that leads to content like this is so fucking frustrating. It's so dumb. I can't stand it. And the most insulting part of all of it is he's putting everyone at risk around him, all of their lives in danger, for boring content too. It's not even entertaining content. It's not even like this is thrilling to watch. It's a fucking snooze fest. It's all of it, top to bottom, is complete trash. Absolute trash. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today, and that's about it. So yeah.